Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most significant economic events in history, the Great Depression. It was a time of unprecedented economic hardship, not just in America but across the globe. We're going to look at how a decade of economic prosperity came crashing down, the factors that contributed to this catastrophic downturn, and the lasting impact it had on the world. Stay tuned as we explore the key events and factors that contributed to this global crisis. The 1920s, a time of flapper dresses, jazz music, and a sense of boundless optimism. It was a decade of unprecedented economic growth and technological advancement. The rise of the automobile, the radio, and the expansion of electricity into homes across America brought about a period of unprecedented prosperity. People were spending money, buying new products, and investing in the stock market like never before. And why not? The stock market was booming. It seemed like a surefire way to make a fortune. There was this infectious belief that the good times would never end. But hey, what could possibly go wrong, right? Chuckles. Well, as we're about to find out, a lot can go wrong. This unchecked optimism, coupled with risky investment practices like buying stocks on margin, basically buying stocks with borrowed money, inflated a speculative bubble that was just waiting to burst. And burst it did. October 29, 1929, a day that would forever be etched in history as Black Tuesday. The stock market, which had been showing signs of instability for months, completely imploded. Panic selling set in, wiping out billions of dollars in wealth in a matter of hours. It was like the rug had been pulled out from under the American economy. People who had invested heavily in the stock market, many of whom had borrowed money to do so, saw their savings vanish overnight. Banks, who had loaned out vast sums of money for stock purchases, were left holding worthless paper. The stock market crash didn't cause the Great Depression, but it was the catalyst that unleashed a chain reaction of economic catastrophes. The immediate aftermath of the crash was like a punch to the gut of the American economy. Businesses, facing plummeting demand for their products, were forced to lay off workers. Unemployment skyrocketed, reaching a staggering 25% by 1933. Imagine 1 in 4 people you knew being out of work. It was a time of immense hardship and suffering. People lost their homes, their farms, and their life savings. Breadlines, a symbol of the desperation of the times, became a common sight in cities across the country. The banking system, already weakened by the crash, went into a tailspin. Banks, unable to collect on loans and facing panicked withdrawals, began to fail at an alarming rate. This further contracted the money supply, making it even harder for businesses to operate and for people to make ends meet. Chapter 4. The Great Depression wasn't just an American problem, it was a global crisis. The United States was a major economic engine of the world at the time, and its collapse had a ripple effect across the globe. International trade, already hampered by protectionist policies, plummeted. Countries that relied on exports to the United States saw their economies crumble. The gold standard, which linked many currencies to the US dollar, further exacerbated the crisis. As countries scrambled to protect their own economies, they adopted beggar-thy-neighbor policies, raising tariffs and devaluing currencies, which only deepened the global downturn. The Great Depression had a profound impact on global politics, contributing to the rise of extremist ideologies like fascism and Nazism, setting the stage for another global conflict, World War II. Chapter 5. The New Deal. In the United States, the government's initial response to the Great Depression was slow and largely ineffective. President Herbert Hoover, clinging to laissez-faire economics, believed that the market would correct itself. However, the crisis only deepened, and Hoover was soundly defeated in the 1932 presidential election by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who promised a New Deal for the American people. Roosevelt's New Deal was a series of programs and reforms designed to provide relief, recovery, and reform to the battered American economy. These programs, often referred to by their acronyms like the CCC, the WPA, and the TVA, put people back to work, built infrastructure, and provided a much-needed safety net for the most vulnerable Americans. Chapter 6. The End of the Great Depression. While the New Deal provided some relief and helped to stabilize the economy, it was World War II that ultimately pulled the United States out of the Great Depression. The massive government spending on the war effort, coupled with the mobilization of the American workforce for wartime production, created millions of jobs and jump-started the economy. Factories that had been idle were retooled to produce tanks, planes, and other war materials. Unemployment plummeted as Americans joined the armed forces or found work in the booming war industries. The Great Depression, which had cast a long shadow over the nation, finally began to recede. Chapter 7. Legacy of the Great Depression. The Great Depression left an indelible mark on the world. It fundamentally changed the role of government in the economy. Prior to the Depression, the prevailing economic philosophy was one of laissez-faire, a hands-off approach by the government. The severity of the crisis, however, forced governments to take a more active role in managing the economy and providing a safety net for their citizens. The New Deal, while controversial in its time, laid the foundation for the modern welfare state, with programs like Social Security and unemployment insurance becoming permanent fixtures of the American social safety net. The Great Depression also had a profound impact on economic thought, leading to the development of Keynesian economics, which advocated for government intervention in the economy to manage demand and promote full employment. Outro. Thanks for watching. The Great Depression was a dark chapter in human history, a stark reminder of the fragility of economic systems and the human toll of economic hardship. But it also showcased the resilience of the human spirit, the power of collective action, and the importance of government intervention in times of crisis. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most significant events. See you next time.